nativa. Hasta las 11, hasta las 11. Los diablos, ellos van a seguir hasta las 3 de la mañana. Oye, Elia, no sé quién ganó. ¿Qué tú crees? No sé, pero se están divirtiendo.
La hora nativa.
Yo sé lo que tú hiciste, pero no te apures, la venganza viene. Es hora de despertar, la vida que tú vives no es tuya, es anormal. Te quitaron tu país, olvidaste tu raíz. Te conquistaron y eso es criminal, yeah. Ahora amamos al que lo hizo, somos esclavos en su paraíso. Aprender la verdad de la Biblia y regresar al Dios que nos hizo. Hay que despertar a nuestra gente, esta es la hora que arrepienten. Damos cara a cara, frente a frente. Oye, los profetas no te mienten. La clase ya comenzó, estamos vivos otro día. Le damos gracias a Dios, le damos gracias a Dios. La palabra en la vida, aprende de esta lección, yeah. Mira el reloj, ya es hora. El libro de la vida no demora. Mira el reloj, ya es hora. El libro de la vida no demora. Esta es la hora, 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 esta es la hora. Esta es la hora, esta es la hora nativa. Esta es la hora, esta es la hora, esta es la hora nativa. Esta es la hora, esta es la hora, esta es la hora nativa. Esta es la hora, esta es la hora, esta es la hora nativa.
Yeah, I'm in it to win it. You already know the sky's the limit. Yeah, people need to stop sinning. We the chosen men and women. Los israelitas de la Biblia. Oye, ¿qué estamos diciendo?
Hay que despertar a nuestra gente. Esta es la hora que arrepiente. La clase ya comenzó, estamos vivos otro día, le damos gracias a Dios. Esta es la hora, esta es la hora, esta es la hora nativa. Esta es la hora, esta es la hora, esta es la hora nativa.
Entre los pueblos me elegiste a mí. Es lamentable, en la tentación caí. Pues aposté las promesas que me diste a mí. Pues aposté las promesas y te perdí a ti. Perdóname a mí. Perdóname a mí. Entre los pueblos me elegiste a mí. Caí. Pues aposté las promesas que me diste a mí. Pues aposté las promesas y te perdí a ti. Perdóname a mí. Perdóname a mí. Que me diste a mí, pues aposté las promesas y te perdí a ti. Perdóname a mí. Perdóname a mí.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwam Yasharala.
Hey, one nation, one nation.
This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza.
We one nation, one nation.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwam Yasharala.
Hey, one nation, one nation.
This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza.
We one nation, one nation.
It wouldn't be Israel without Mexicans. Black love, brown pride, cause we next to kin. We ain't gotta tell Esau to let's be friends, cause we above all nations and we better than them. We the salt of the earth, ayy, ayy. And we been king since birth, ayy, ayy. We put the kingdom first, ayy, ayy. And they gon' get this work, ayy, ayy. We was chosen, not cause we the most of the people. Few in numbers, but we over the people. We gods of this earth, we ain't supposed to be equal. Stop playing, you emotional people. The good gotta triumph over the evil. So my foot's on the throat of the eagle. Their tongues will confess that we the people. Cause my nation ain't never been feeble. For the Southern Kingdom, Kwam Yasharala.
Hey, one nation, one nation.
This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza.
We one nation, one nation.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwam Yasharala.
Hey, one nation, one nation.
This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza.
We one nation, one nation.
I can't take one step without my brothers too. Vámonos muchachos, yeah, you know there's one for you. Me gusta arroz con pollo, tacos chilangos, sipping on cervezas with all mi hermanos. Judah and Ephraim, that's the two kingdoms. Now we one nation over these heathens. Royalty bloodline, we be the choice vine. Better repent for you run out of time. My father gave me salt and the light, yeah, yeah. Be strong in the Lord and his might, yeah, yeah. Better be careful of fire. Change all your ways or you'll be his desire. Whoa, gotta stay away from Satan, changing my mind frame. Yeah, you know we dying daily, turning it up on a feast day. Put this on replay, no longer divided cause we all
one nation.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwam Yasharala.
Hey, one nation, one nation.
This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza.
We one nation, one nation.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwam Yasharala.
Hey, one nation, one nation.
This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza.
We one nation, one nation.
Hay tantas peleas
coward.
Yeah, history the learn. It's the power hour. The 11th hour. Tune in to your history. You know it ain't no mystery. Power hour. The 11th hour. You know you to history. 11th hour. Power hour.
Tune in, it's the power hour. I said learn your family history, don't be a coward.
Yeah, history the learn. It's the power hour. The 11th hour. Tune in to your history. You know it ain't no mystery. Power hour. The 11th hour. You know you to history.
Check, mic check. Hey, shalom, family. Most High in Christ bless you all. If y'all can hear us, give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know that we in the game. Let us know we good to go, y'all. Pray everybody's doing well. All right. Hey, I'm Officer Halez. To my right.
Officer Gadaliah.
Officer Asahel.
Officer Zakor.
We are IUIC Austin. We will be filling in today for the Power Hour Plus. All praise be to the Most High Christ. All right, so let's get that disclaimer real quick, just to show everybody what we about. Read that.
We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a non-violent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1.
That's right. All praise to the Most High for that, man. So,
That's right.
how's everybody doing, man? How y'all feeling?
Doing good, man.
Doing good, sir.
Bien.
Bien,
y'all
muy
hear me?
bien, muy bien.
Muy bien.
Check. You know, I'm here for Officer Raz's, man. Check.
Right, that's right.
Hey, I do want to give a shout out to our leadership real quick, if that's all right, officers.
Absolutely. Shout out to the bishops, the deacons, the captains. Bishop Kanai hit a home team. Deacon Joshua with IUIC
right.
Phoenix.
That's right.
Officer Shia, Officer Issachar. Y'all brothers keep holding it down out there.
That's right.
IUIC Phoenix, man. All praise to the Most High. What you got? What you got, Officer Isaiah?
No, just happy to be filling in. Another opportunity to, push out the truth.
They're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, how you feeling,
Hey,
sir?
I'm feeling this title, though. I'm feeling this title.
Check.
What you got on that title? Let's
What
see
the title say? Read it for the brothers and sisters online watching real quick.
Silly rabbit. Easter's a trick.
That's right.
Now, is that original? I don't know. I just had the tech team look it up, But if we did, hey, man,
Hey, it's the first time
we
used
covered
it, sir.
In the
we're
spirit.
gonna covet the righteous gifts, y'all.
Right.
That's right.
It sound good, though.
It do sound good, but is it original? That's the key.
Right.
But all praise to the Most High. Easter is a trick.
That's right.
Easter is a trick because the way the world celebrates Easter is not biblical.
Right.
Easter in general, the word, is not something that is something that was celebrated by our forefathers and our foremothers.
Right.
You're not going to find in the Bible where our forefathers and our foremothers celebrated that and the Lord was happy.
Right.
Now, you will find where we did celebrate Easter, but it was considered idolatry.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
It was considered a sin because, let's just get straight to it, right? Let's get that in Colossians chapter 2, verse 8 real quick. We all know this is the basic book, chapter, and verse that is going to be expounded on over and over and over again during this time of the year, where our people are getting ready to celebrate Easter, which is not in the Bible. Read what you got.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Beware, lest any man spoil you, meaning destroy you, right? To spoil something is to infect, corrupt. To spoil is to alter the real understanding of the Bible.
Right.
Okay? The Lord is telling us to beware. What's beware mean? Be aware. Be alert. Don't be simple-minded. Don't be gullible. Don't believe every little thing. Okay? It says be aware. Read that again.
Beware, lest any man spoil you.
Meaning, lest he corrupt you, right? Or lead you astray. Come on.
Through philosophy.
Through his personal philosophy.
Right.
Meaning something that cannot be proven in the Bible. Come on.
And vain deceit.
And a vain deceit. You know who does that? The same people that we rely on to teach us the truth.
Right.
Right.
Meaning the Christian church, the Catholic church, the Seventh-day Adventist church, the Jehovah's Witness church, the Mormons. All those religions are the ones that are leading us astray.
Right.
And they're not teaching us according to the Bible. We have, as a nation, we have been spoiled.
Right.
We are full of philosophies, and we hold on to philosophies as if they hold weight. But when you read the Bible, it destroys every thought and every philosophy, every religion, every theory that we want to believe or entertain is not in conjunction with the Bible.
Right.
That's right.
Finish that?
After the tradition of man.
Uh-huh.
After the rudiment of the world.
So it says after, because this is how you know it's very easy to understand if it's a tradition of man or a tradition of God. It's a tradition of man if you do not see that it's found in Leviticus chapter 23.
That's right.
If you see that it is not celebrated in the Bible in a righteous way. Okay, once again, yeah, we celebrated Easter and we're going to prove that, but it is considered idolatry. It is evil in the sight of the Lord, and we're going to prove that. Read.
After the rudiments of the world.
Because Easter is a rudiment of the world. Come on.
And not after Christ.
Because Christ ain't never colored no eggs.
Bring it out.
Right.
That's how you know that's a tradition of man. Christ ain't never represent no Easter bunny.
Bring it out.
Meaning we supposed to follow after Christ and not after the rudiments of the world. Meaning the teachings of the world.
Christ,
Go ahead.
Christ even asked that question. I don't know if you were still on that precept, officer. I just want to pull Matthew 15:3 real quick.
Absolutely.
And come back.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 3. But he answered and said unto them,
This is Christ speaking, right, about these traditions. What does he say?
why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
That's why Christ looked at it. He was like, these traditions are transgressing the commandments of God.
Right.
They don't line up with what God has ordained for us. And our people, what we do is we just keep following. I hear that all the time, too, when we're teaching. It's just a tradition. This is what we've always done. But we try to tell them, you're going against the commandments of God. Christ didn't do it. Just like you said, officer, he wasn't out there dyeing eggs. He wasn't looking for bunny rabbits with chocolate in it and none of that stuff, man. He was teaching against that thing. So why would you transgress God's commandments by your tradition?
You know, they start this with the youth. They let these false, corruptible traditions, as you say, they put them on the children with the eggs, with the candy. I remember as a child, we would hunt Easter eggs when I was in Christianity, and they would put money inside the little plastic eggs or different things like that. They would appeal to the youthful spirit, the ignorant spirit, and then that's how they'll tell you today that, oh, we're just doing it for the kids. What you're doing is you're suffering the wrath of God upon your kids.
Spoiling them.
Yeah,
Right.
You're spoiling them.
If you notice, that's just something that's it's a common pattern in our enemies to play on our people's emotions, to say, hey, it's for the children. They do the same thing for Christmas. They do the same thing for satanic birthdays, for Halloween, right? We all know Halloween is of witchcraft and of the devil. But what do? They incorporate chocolates and candy. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but a different message. But at the end of the day, it's all done so that we depart away from our Maker. So we depart from our Father, from our God, from our Bible.
Right.
That's why it's done for.
Right.
It's a distraction, and not only that, it's a sin.
Right.
Because it's a tradition of man. So what they do, they'll play on your emotions and try to make it look all cute and nice and color the eggs and look at how nice these little pastel colors are. And it's for the family. So God God ain't upset with this.
Right.
It's so funny you say that, officer. I was just sitting there thinking, like, so our people will say something like, we'll have all these injustices happen in our community, right? And we've been talking about it till we're blue in the face. But what do they say after that? Man, it's 2023. It's 2023. They still doing this to us? They still doing us? Yes, because you're still painting eggs. Right. You're still celebrating Christmas. You're right. God is going to continue to afflict us until we get our minds right. So that just tripped me out. Like, yeah, in 2023, you're still painting eggs.
Yep.
Still
2023, you still believe in white Jesus.
Right.
2023, you still don't know you're an Israelite by blood. It's not a religion.
Right.
2023, you still calling us black Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
And the other day, everybody on the panel was yellow.
Right.
Nah, but it is 2023, y'all. And it's high time we awake and we come out of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Get that in Romans 13 real quick, y'all. Yes, Romans 13. And then we're gonna start with the one article that we have. Read what you got.
13 and what verse?
Verse 11. Yeah, verse.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
What does that mean? That means judgment day is on the brink.
That's right.
The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Mm-hmm. So it's high time to stop celebrating these things that we've learned, these traditions of men. Because he said, it's high time we awake. When you celebrate Easter, you're asleep.
Right.
That's what it means. You're not. What do a lot of our people say in the world? Oh, I'm woke. I'm woke. I'm conscious.
The hell is this?
But you painting eggs though.
Right.
You still celebrating the bunny.
Yep.
Not only that, you ain't even breaking a cycle. You're not breaking the chains. You're teaching your children how to sin. You're teaching your children how to upset God as well.
Right.
You know something else, officer? A lot of times they probably, I don't go to church on Easter. Or I don't paint eggs. I don't take my kids Easter egg hunting and stuff. But you know what they do? They granny cook for them.
Uh-oh.
And guess what? They show there right up there with an appetite, ready to eat.
Right.
You still celebrating that wicked holiday.
Yup. We've traded out our Passover lamb for the Easter ham.
The hell is this?
No, that was Captain Zakar a few years ago. That was Signs of the Times years ago. That was a throwback. Shout out to Captain Zakar.
That's right.
They traded out. Excuse me.
Right.
Well, no, not us, not
We're
the Israelites, because we
Israelites.
repented.
Right.
We ain't eating that stuff no
Yeah,
more.
right.
But all people, y'all in the world that need to repent, y'all need to stop with that Easter ham. I'm
Bring
telling
it
you. You gotta. The scripture talks about the Passover and the lamb that must be the lamb, the bitter herb, the wine. That's what it goes into. Okay, this is what we must eat. This is what we must how we celebrate the Passover.
Right.
You find that in the book of Exodus chapter 12. Okay, so read that again.
It's the book of Romans. The book of Romans, chapter 11 and chapter 13 and verse 11.
Come on.
And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Meaning stop celebrating this garbage like Easter, birthdays, what's Latinos doing? It's called Semana Santa. Meaning sanctified week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Holy Week.
Holy Week. There you go. It's called Holy Week.
The hell is this?
But it has nothing to do with the Passover. They do not commemorate the Passover. Because remember, how long is the Feast of Unleavened Bread?
7 days.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So they doing it to the wrong one.
Right.
Isn't it crazy?
Yes, sir.
You got something else?
No, I was just in researching for tonight's class. It's a whole lot of stuff going on in the Northern Kingdom with these idolatrous practices. None of it which can be found or justified in the scriptures. There was one where they were whipping each other in the square. I don't think that one's going to make tonight's show. But our people are doing a lot of. This is how they make it right with their brother. If they have an art, they just go out in the middle of a square with these whips.
Wow.
And they whip each other. You know.
that in the Bible?
Yeah, exactly.
When Christ was going into church, I guess.
Hey,
and
this is
beating everybody about
this
it.
is how they are spoiled. This is how they are spoiled through vain philosophies and deceits.
Damn. All right, so hey, let's get that video real quick where they're burning that that one. It looks like a piñata almost. I don't know. I think this is Issachar. They're like burning the piñata that looks like Moloch. And I guess it's an Easter custom that they keep. You know which one I'm talking about? All right, I'll pull it.
So while you're looking for that, I was thinking about that movie Inception, with what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
And all these people talking about how they woke. They woke, but they like woke in the movie Inception. It was like you was in a dream within a dream. That's what they do. They keep waking up into these different levels. They're not really waking up though, man. They still celebrating the same thing like we just said.
The hell is this?
That was the thought I had earlier.
Was it?
Yeah,
You should have brought it out,
all
man.
praises.
One
Nah.
spirit. All right, there we go.
All praises.
Can I get a scripture real quick?
Yes,
In
sir.
Exodus 12, because officer brought something out heavy. He was just talking about all of the traditions that the people in the world they do for Easter, but then nobody can tell you what it's about. They always say, "Oh yes, it's about Christ," but then you ask them about the bunny, they don't know. You ask them about all these things, they don't know. But in the Bible, it tells us why we celebrate the Passover. Exodus chapter 12 and verse 26.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 26. And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by this service?
So now this is the Lord. He posing a question to Israel. He said, when your children ask you, what are you doing? Read on.
That ye shall say, it is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt.
So now the Lord actually gives us a reason on why we do what we do. But as for you Christians, there's no reason for what you do, why you do it. You don't know where it comes from. Sometimes you do, but you hide it because you don't want everybody else to know that what you're doing is literally pagan.
Oh, I think it got pagan origins. This the video you looking for, officer?
Yes, sir. All right, y'all hold on to your seats now.
Somebody about to get beat.
Hey, real quick, this is called the video's called Easter Tradition Beasts Burnt in Rare Mexican Ritual. Interesting. Easter tradition.
Easter tradition.
Interesting. All right, let's go ahead and play that.
On a dark Easter night, a small village near Mexico City waits for creatures from another world. They arrive, spewing fire and
Hey, pause
flame.
that. You cannot tell me they don't look like Moloch.
Straight up.
Exactly.
You cannot tell me that doesn't look like Moloch. Am I tripping, y'all?
The
No.
people, they
No.
probably don't know online what you talking about. They should
All
put
right,
it side by side.
get a picture of Moloch real quick go on Google real quick and show the for the people watching online that might not know who Moloch is.
Yeah, but that's his spitting image right there.
Absolutely, look at that. There you go. Zoom in on that.
Wow.
Wow, that's literally the same image.
You see, and it's spinning around.
The hell is this?
This is a tradition they do every year.
It's Issachar, man. Issachar. Y'all got to
There it is
hold
with the
this
fire.
L on this one.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So yeah, that is Moloch, and guess what? That's biblical. Okay, this was idolatry. Let's read. Can we read about Moloch real quick? Give me that in Amos. Let's get chapter 5. Amos chapter 5. I think it's 24, something like that.
Yes, sir. The book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 26.
Read.
But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Molech.
There you go. The tabernacle of your Molech. Read.
And Qum, your image, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves.
So this is once again our forefathers and our foremothers were always going off into idolatry. We are notorious for that. Even to this day, when we keep Easter, we're doing the same thing. We're going off into idolatry. That's all it is. Okay, now go back and play the video for him.
This is crazy.
Yeah, finish that. Read verse 27.
Verse 27. Therefore will I cause you to go into captivity.
There it is. That's the punishment. That's the God that we serve. The God that we serve, when you do not keep the commandments, God says, I'm going to put your behind in slavery.
Bring it out.
All people say, no, forget slavery. Okay, so you know what happens? The people that don't know their history is more likely to repeat it again. You hear that all the time.
Right.
That's why we said, you better remember slavery so you can protect yourself and learn what got you behind in that slavery so we don't make the same mistake.
Right.
That mistake that we made was going off into idolatry as such, okay? Not keeping the commandments of the Lord our God and following after religions. Right. All right? That was it on that?
Therefore will I cause you to go into captivity beyond Damascus, saith the Lord, whose name is the God of hosts.
All right, play the video.
The world. They arrive, spewing fire and flame. These are the Shemos,
It was even
demons
smoke behind
over
the image.
6 meters tall. Every Easter, they're created and destroyed in Santa Rosa
I
Sociat.
don't even like it.
Huge teams spend months on their Shemo, like the 140-strong Espinosa clan. We visited as they applied the finishing touches.
Man.
Family patriarch Eduardo and his son explained why they made so much effort for such a brief finale.
When they're burned, it represents killing all the evil of the past year, so that only the good remains.
The day before the burning, the Shemos are dragged through the town streets and paraded in the square. It's a surreal, rambunctious celebration where monsters mix with diabolical clowns and a giant demonic bull menaces the crowd.
It is, Baal.
97-year-old Felipa Lopez still doesn't get tired of the spectacle. She's proud of the unique tradition of the village she helped found many years ago.
Wow.
The young have that energy, that joy in participating.
Oh, stop. You see that? So this was a movement that was led by evil women.
Yep.
Evil women. Evil women, man. Get that in Isaiah 3 and 12. Isaiah 3 and 12.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
Women rule over them. Come on.
O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to error.
Cause thee to make errors. So they made a whole city go astray.
The hell is this?
And all that is going to do is going to pick up steam because they got the kids involved.
Right.
They're doing it around the Passover. So it's taking them away even further from the true words of the laws of God.
Officer,
This is horrible, man.
They say they burning it to get rid of evil spirits. How about you just stop sinning, and that'll get rid of all the evil spirits and the evils that come into that country or that city.
There you go.
What sense does that make?
Just keep the commandments, right? If you want to get rid of evil, just keep the commandments. All right. I kind of wanted to bring up 2 Ezra 5 and 8, where it says, "Menstruous women shall bring forth monsters." Because they talk about these monsters here.
The book of 2 Ezra.
Go ahead, read that, man.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 5, or 1 Ezra, I'm sorry. The book of 1 Ezra, chapter 5, and verse 8. And they return.
No, it was second.
It was second Ezra.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 5, and verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places.
It's a confusion here, all right, in this city here of Mexico. Come on.
And the fire shall be often sent out again. And the wild beast.
Come on.
And the wild beasts shall change their places.
Come on.
And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters.
Menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Not just children, but understandings of idolatry. Leading their children astray. Creating them to be monsters. That's all they're breeding is more monsters.
So you mean like these are the abuelas of the MS-13,
Damn.
the abuelas of the
Say that one more
the
time,
traffickers.
Say that one
You
more
know,
time.
These are the children that you're raising because you're not keeping the commandments of God. They are going astray, as you read in Isaiah 3:12. It says, go back to that real quick. It was just the last part of that.
Also, that's a great point. Before you read that,
Yes, sir.
you said these are the abuelitas or the grandmothers
Right.
of the MS-13 gang members,
Right.
or the cartels,
Or the cartels.
and
Right.
they're sweet, loving,
Right.
and they're
Right.
cooking,
Bring it out.
and they're giving
Yeah.
hugs and little
Right.
kisses,
Right.
but yet their children are cartel and MS-13
Right.
monsters,
Traffickers.
organ trafficking, prostitution, drugs, murders. These are the nice little. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Come on now, dog.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 12.
Read.
As for my people,
The children of Israel.
children are their oppressors,
Read.
and women rule over them.
Our grandmothers.
Oh,
Not-
my people.
Not just Northern Kingdom, but Southern Kingdom as well. You know, your grandmothers they're doing the same thing. But here, specifically, we're talking about our Northern Kingdom brothers. Read that again.
And women rule over them.
Read.
O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err,
And
destroy the path of thy and destroy the way of thy paths.
so now, instead of walking after God, we're walking after these traditions of men, which have us doing all manners of idolatry. Yeah, that's yeah. Go ahead.
Could we get Leviticus 18 and verse 21? Because we literally were just watching our brothers and sisters, the so-called Mexicans, which is the tribe of Issachar. They were essentially sacrificing to Molech, and they leading their children astray in doing so. And I just wanted to bring this scripture out because it attests to that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech.
So it was given to us as soon as we came out of Egypt because we were doing the exact same thing. It said that we shouldn't let any of our seed pass through the fire of Molech. Read.
Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord.
Because they doing it all in the name of the Most High God. They doing this all in the name of Jesus Cristo. They doing this all in the name of Jesus Christ, and they're sacrificing to other gods.
That's right.
All praises.
Great point.
Gotcha.
Yeah, thank you, IT. Appreciate y'all. Yeah,
can
so
I-
let's get the origins. Let's get that article we was going to play, or we was going to read. Get the article on the pagan origins of Easter.
That was so heavy. They said that it was she was one of the founders of it, man.
Wow.
Like that's in our history, man.
It's
Like,
horrible.
It's crazy.
Read what you got.
Yes, sir. We're pulling it. The ancient pagan origins of Easter. Easter is a festival and holiday celebrated by millions of people around the world who honor the resurrection of Jesus from the dead. Described in the New Testament as having occurred 3 days after his crucifixion at Calvary. It is also the day that children excitedly wait for the Easter bunny to arrive and deliver their treats of chocolate eggs.
There you go. All right, now you tell me, right? Go back. No. Scroll back up real quick. All right, so it says that they honor the resurrection of Jesus from the dead. Why not keep the Passover? Isn't that what Christ did?
That's right.
Let's get that in Luke 22 real quick. Luke 22, and let's read verse 1.
The book of Luke, chapter 22 and verse 1.
Come on.
Now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh,
So what's another word for the feast of unleavened bread? Read.
which is called the Passover.
No, it's called Easter, right?
The Passover.
The Passover.
That's right.
Which when you read in Exodus chapter 12, the Passover was to be kept around the same time of the beginning of your months, the new year, the real new year, which is coming up in tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow. All right, jump to verse 7.
Verse 7. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed. And he sent Peter and John, saying, Go and prepare us the Passover, that we may eat. And they said unto him, Where wilt thou that we prepare?
So as you can see right here, what is Christ doing? Christ is preparing. Did he say, go and get the eggs?
No.
Right.
Go and get draw up little pictures of the bunny rabbit.
Right.
Make sure you got the chocolate. Okay, get the little baskets and is that what he said?
Nope. No, he did not.
Christ is giving instruction on keeping the Passover, which has nothing to do with a rabbit.
That's right.
It has not, and for the record, rabbits don't lay eggs.
Bring it out.
When the last time y'all seen a rabbit lay an egg?
The hell is this?
On Earth, I haven't seen one.
I ain't never seen no rabbit lay eggs. Last I checked, it's chickens and fowls that lay eggs and reptiles, but I ain't never seen no rabbit lay an egg. So it's all types of wrong. It's all types of red flags when it comes to this Easter thing. There's all types of things that just, it's not adding up. Something ain't right. Okay? This is not what Christ did. Didn't we read in Colossians 2 where it says we should follow after the
Beware.
after Christ and not the rudiments of the world?
Yes, sir.
This is the rudiment of the world. But what are they trying to do? They try to intertwine and intertangle idolatry with maybe a verse here in the Bible here and there. Sounds a lot like this fake ass Christmas. Where they say he was born on December 25th.
Right. Yep.
Right.
You know,
they Christianize the
there you
pagan
go.
customs. That's what they say. They
Paganize.
Yeah,
right. They paganize it. They Christianize it by using the Bible, but then they add their own little evil mixture into it. And then they try to convince you and say, hey, look, this is from the Bible. This has to do with Jesus. Oh, and it's for the kids as well. First of all, we know your Jesus is a white Jesus.
Right.
The Jesus in the Bible is a black man.
The hell is this?
Okay? The prophets are black men.
Right.
So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the real Jews.
That's right.
Okay? And we was never painting eggs.
Right.
We was never celebrating. The Lord never told us to hold on a high esteem a rabbit.
Right.
So let's scroll down. Let's see what this really what's really going on here. Scroll down. Read that.
Yes, sir. The date upon which Easter is held varies from year to year and corresponds with the first Sunday following the moon after the March equinox.
There it is. No. Read it again. Following the what?
Following the full moon.
Okay, you missed that. The full moon. The full moon. Come on.
After the March equinox.
Come on.
It occurs on different dates around the world since Western churches use the Gregorian calendar while Eastern churches use the Julian calendar. While Easter, as we know it today, was never a pagan festival, its roots and many of its traditions have associations with ancient pagan customs and beliefs.
Now, is it just me or remember what Bishop said, right? When we look at books, Bishop Nathaniel said, when you read books, when you read articles, understand the truths that are in there, but you got to recognize the discrepancies also. Right here, something ain't adding up.
Right.
He just said, or whoever wrote this article just said that Easter as we know it today was never pagan, but its roots, its roots, it literally used the word roots.
Words is smoother than butter, wasn't it? It just went right along.
But roots, you know what root means? It means like
the origin.
The source.
Not something on the surface level.
Right.
Meaning like
not after time, but the genesis, the beginning of it.
The genesis of it. You see what I'm saying? Like it don't get no deeper than the roots.
Right.
First.
But its roots says what?
Its roots and many of its traditions.
Many. Then it's add more icing to the cake here. Many of its tradition have what?
Have associations with ancient pagan customs and beliefs.
So it is a pagan festival.
Right.
Check it out.
Right.
It is a pagan feast day. It's very pagan.
Right.
What's another word for pagan, y'all?
Satanic.
There you go. It's a satanic festival. Anything that's not in the Bible and you're celebrating it, it's satanic. It's of the devil.
Right.
That's right.
It's not of God.
Roots means foundation. Like it's
Right.
built upon it. Like I don't know how you not associated with a pagan custom. Like it is It's at its core, its root, it is a pagan custom.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a
Read.
Hey,
No, go ahead.
If you're a Christian, you should be ashamed right now. I just want to throw that out
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. And you know what? That was me at one time. You know what I'm saying?
too.
Hey, get that Titus 3:3.
It's 2023, y'all. So I'm gonna keep saying.
there. Right.
Hey, that's it. It's 2023.
It's time to grow up, right?
Yeah.
For real.
All
The
right.
book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish.
We ourselves, guess what? I celebrated Easter
All right, have my little Easter
when I was
speech.
young. I was painting little eggs.
You had your suit? Did
Uh-huh.
you have a suit? The Easter suit?
Nah, I ain't had no Easter suit. I just know that everybody, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Let me be honest with you about something. All these little holidays growing up that all like everybody on the block that I was raised with that they kept, it reminded me, every time it came around, it reminded me of how poor I was.
Damn.
Everybody had on the new little Easter,
Right.
yeah, thank you. The little Easter suits on. They had
Bring
their
it
little
out.
this my Easter get up right here.
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah, this is mine right here. They be like, yo, it's got little stains and holes in it.
Damn.
Your shoes,
It was the wickedness.
your shoes look run down.
Hey,
It's all
so
good.
Yeah.
I say this on your behalf. Judah would not pay rent to get an Easter suit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bring it
Easter
out.
would not-
Expose him.
He said Judah will hold back the rent to make sure they had their Easter suit on.
Boy.
Yeah.
Making sure they
got
was
cut off.
representing for the devil, boy.
Tie is tight as hell. Never
Hey.
wore
How you
tie
go
in
so
life.
hard for the devil like
Hey,
that?
Best of the best and best of the worst.
the hell is this?
Pull the gators out that day. On
Right,
railway.
right. But you know, like us in the hood, we had Air Force Ones and
Right.
Jordans, and I remember the Looney Tune shirts was out a lot when I was growing up, and a lot of people would wear those as their Easter outfits, right? So with me, as this scripture says, we ourselves were sometimes foolish.
Right.
When I heard it was pagan, I was like, I knew I didn't like that.
Right.
I knew I never liked. I knew I never liked them holidays, them so-called holidays.
Right.
So it was easy for me to let that thing go, man.
All right. You ain't alone, officer.
Watch this. Get 2 Corinthians chapter, let me see. It might be, yeah, it's 1 Corinthians chapter 12. And give me verse 11.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 11.
So this is for us, right? This is for you mothers out there, you fathers out there. Understand that our God is a God of truth, not about lies. So you got to teach your children the truth. That Easter bunny, that is a lie.
Bring it out.
Easter itself is a lie, and it's idolatry. So we got to go back. We got to break the chains, break the cycle, come back, teach our children the truth.
That's
all right, and put away these things. Read.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 11. But all these working.
I'm sorry, 13 and 11.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child.
Come on.
I understood as a child.
We understood as children, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, when we was children, what was it? It was the 90s, the 80s, some of
2000s.
y'all, yeah, like
2000s.
officers occurred, 2000s, right? Read.
Well, hold on. We got to. Oh, my bad.
Oh, what
all
I
praise
forgot
to
to
the
say, the
Most High.
50s,
All praise to
50s,
the
the
Most
man.
High.
60s.
That's right.
Roaring 60s. Is that what it is?
The roaring.
I was-
I understood as a child.
Go ahead.
I thought as a child.
Mhm.
But when I became a man,
Now that it's 2023,
bring it out.
come on.
I put away childish things.
It's time to put away these childish things, y'all.
That's right.
It's time to stop. We're
Right.
embarrassing ourselves.
Bring it out.
We are embarrassing ourselves as a nation.
It's 2023, y'all.
Bring it
Correct.
out, officer.
Yeah.
Bring it out.
2023.
For real.
we
Like,
get
all right,
Titus
let's
1?
read that. No, let's read that third paragraph.
According to the New Unger's Bible Dictionary, the word Easter is of Saxon origin.
Uh-oh.
Estra, the goddess of spring, in whose honor sacrifices were offered about Passover time each year. By the 8th century, Anglo-Saxons had adopted the name to designate the celebration of Christ's resurrection. However, even among those who maintain that Easter has pagan roots, there is some disagreement over which pagan tradition the festival emerged from.
Wow.
No, it was created by my idol, not your idol.
Right.
It was my idol that created
Come
it.
on now, dog.
Are we really debating idols
Come
here?
on, man.
We're debating over which demon created this so-called holiday.
The hell is this?
No, it was my demon that created Easter, not your demon.
Bruh.
Keep reading. Go, scroll up. Read that.
Resurrection as a symbol of rebirth. One theory that has been put forward is that the Easter story of crucifixion and resurrection is symbolic of rebirth and renewal and retells the cycle of the seasons, the death and return of the sun.
Come on.
According to
Right.
according to some scholars, such as Dr. Tony Nugent, teacher of theology and religious studies at Seattle University,
Who don't know the Bible,
and Presbyterian minister,
but he knows this though. Come on.
the Easter story comes from the Sumerian legend of Dumuzi, Tammuz, and his wife, Inanna, Ishtar.
Ishtar. Uh-oh. So he on point with that. Come on.
An epic myth called the Descent of Inanna,
Read.
found inscribed on cuneiform clay tablets dating back to 2100 BC.
Wow. Come on.
When Tammuz dies, Ishtar is grief-stricken and follows him to the underworld. In the underworld, she enters through 7 gates, and her worldly attire is removed.
Here we go.
Naked and bowed low, she is judged, killed, and then hung on display. In her absence, the earth loses its fertility. Crops cease to grow, and animals stop reproducing. Unless something is done, all life on earth will end.
Unless something is done. What do you think? What do you think was done when we're reading about these Sumerian, Babylonian, Egyptian idols? They turn to the next idol. That's all they do. They turn to their next false god to fix the solution. Let's give you an example, right?
Sacrifices and stuff.
Get Exodus. Watch this. Exodus chapter 34. Exodus 34, and give me verse 12.
The book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 12.
Matter of fact, 11.
Verse 11. Observe thou that which I command thee this day.
Uh-huh.
Behold, I drive out before thee the Amorites and the Canaanites.
Family. These are all family of the Sumerians, all family of the Babylonians, the Egyptians. They all come from the lineage of Ham. Come on.
And the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites.
Right? Because we learned a lot of garbage when we were in captivity under them. Come on.
Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, whither thou goest. Lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee.
Lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. Read.
But ye shall destroy their altars.
We should destroy their altars.
Break their images.
Uh-huh.
And cut down their groves.
And do what?
Cut down their groves.
So what is that going into? Hey, pull that up real quick. Pull that up with the Asherah. We're going to find out what these groves are. We are going to find out what these... There you go. Go to pictorial. All right, this book here, read that.
The Zondervan Pictorial Encyclopedia
Put
of
it
the
on
Bible.
screen. There you go.
In 5 volumes, Merrill C. Tenney.
All right, let's read. Zoom in. Scroll up. Scroll up. Zoom in. Scroll up. Scroll up. All right. You want me to read?
Bring it down.
Zoom out a little.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, read right there. That's
All
Asherah, right?
Asherah, the KJV, usually, I can't see that one. Usually this word by grove or groves.
You see that? The real, it usually, the word grove is going into Asherah. Asherah. Okay. Keep reading.
The ASV often treats it as a proper noun in order to avoid the problems raised by KJV grove.
The explosion of the KJV. Come on.
In some contexts, the RSV makes no attempt to distinguish the name of the goddess from the name of the cult object, using Asherah for both.
There you go. There you go. So when it says cut down their groves, meaning cut down their idols. Asherah and Ishtar is the same thing. Scroll down. Scroll down. Keep scrolling. Yeah, read that. Matter of fact, I'll read. Although the authors of Mishnah explain Asherah as a tree that was worshipped, right, and the LXX grove will often fit the context. All right, scroll up. Scroll up. Then it shows you all these biblical references where you could find out about where we were worshiping Ishtar or Ashtoreth, but the word grove was put in there. So a lot of our brothers and sisters don't understand that. Guess what? This was the same deity as Ishtar. Scroll up.
We've been serving her for a long time.
That's right. Go ahead and read that. Scroll out a little bit. There you go. Zoom out. Where are we at? The deity. Go ahead.
The deity Asherah is now known from several extra biblical sources. In Ugartic, she is the goddess of the sea and the consort of El. She is there described as the progenitress of several gods, including Baal.
Wow. Come on.
Who was also associated with her. Judges 3-7, 6, 26 through 30.
There you go. Come on.
The Tale of Almarna tablets preserve the personal name Abdi Ashirti, servant of Asherah, and other Akkad.
Scroll up. Go to Asherah's not mentioned.
Asherah is not mentioned in connection with the patriarchs, nor is she associated with the kings of the monarchy. But later, after the kingdom split, Asherah is mentioned in connection with both the northern and southern kingdoms. Manasseh introduced Asherah into the temple at Jerusalem.
There you go. You read about what Manasseh did. The king Manasseh. Come on.
2 Kings 21-3. 7. Josiah brought the Asherah out of the temple and burned it.
The grove, right? Or the wooden pole. It's a wooden pole. Come on.
The Israelites were commanded to cut down or burn.
We just read that in Exodus 34:13. All right, go to the other side. Come on, IT.
Cut off.
Okay.
That's as high as it goes.
Okay.
All right. There's not a there should be another shot. There you go. Thank you. Read that.
To cut down or burn the Asherim of the Canaanites, and also were forbidden to plant any trees as an Asherah beside the altar of the Lord. However, when the Israelite invaders appropriated for their own religious worship the high places of the Canaanites, they also adopted the Massabah and Asherah.
Go down to Asherah is coupled with Baal.
Asherah is coupled with Baal in Old Testament usage, in the same way that Ashtaroth is coupled with Baal.
There you go. That's the same deity that you read about in 1 Kings 11 when Solomon went off and he was serving Ashtoreth. Okay? Mind you, all the other nations, they all adopted the same idol, but they called it slightly different. Okay? Let's get the different names real quick. Let's get the different names. Yeah, that Semiramis picture. Left to the left, right there.
What year is
All right, read that.
2023.
Semiramis, the mother and wife of Nimrod, Baal.
Come on.
She was called Ishtar, pronounced Easter, Estre in English.
There you go. Come on.
Astarte, Ashtaroth, and Isis in Egypt.
And now who?
Now Mary, Catholic Church.
Now Mary in the Catholic Church. Guadalupe, Diana of Ephesus, Isis, Queen of Heaven, in Jeremiah 44. This is all the same deity.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yup. Diana of Ephesus, yup. Yup. And our little girls watch the Avengers, and who they aspire to be? They want to be like Diana of Ephesus. That's the reason they buy themselves them blonde wigs or them straight hair wigs.
The hell is this?
All right. Watch this. Go back to Exodus 34. Read that again, verse 12.
The book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 12. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. But ye shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves. For thou shalt worship no other God.
Like Easter. Come on.
For the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God.
Read verse 18.
Verse 18. The feast of unleavened bread shall thou keep.
God is literally telling you, stop celebrating Easter.
Bring it out.
Keep the Passover.
That's right.
Keep the feast of unleavened bread. He's
it
telling you right there. All right. Watch this. Jump to verse 26.
Verse 26. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of the Lord thy God.
Come on.
Thou shalt not seed a kid in his mother's milk.
All right. I'm about to send you something. I'm going to put it on lineup real quick. So saved. All right. So while you reading that, jump up to verse 22 real quick.
Yes, sir. The book of Exodus, chapter 34, and verse 22. And thou shalt observe the feast of weeks, of the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the first of ingathering at the year's end. Thrice in the year shall all your men, children up. I'm gonna read that again. The book of Exodus, chapter 34, verse 23. Thrice in a year shall all your men children appear before the Lord God, the God of Israel. For I will cast out the nations before thee, and enlarge thy borders. Neither shall any man desire thy land, when thou shalt go up to appear before the Lord thy God thrice in the year.
There you go. 3 times a year we were supposed to come together. Okay. All right. Now read verse 26.
Verse 26. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not seed a kid in his mother's milk.
So now it goes into thou shalt not see the kid in his mother's milk. What does that have to do with anything? All right, let's pull this up real quick. Yeah. Read what you got.
Let's go.
Thou shalt not seed a kid. A fanciful exegesis connects the 4 precepts of Exodus 23, 18 through 19 with the 3 feasts, the 2 of Exodus 23, 18 with the Paschal feast.
Meaning the Passover. Come on.
That concerning first fruits in Exodus 23, 19 with the feast of ingathering.
Which is tabernacles. Come on.
And this concerning kids with the Feast of Tabernacles.
Come on.
To support this theory, it is suggested that the command has reference to a superstitious practice customary at the close of the harvest. A kid being then boiled in its mother's milk with magic rites.
With what?
Magic rites.
Read.
And the milk used to sprinkle plantations, fields, and gardens in order to render them more productive the next year.
There you go. Go to the next picture. So the reason why the Lord told us not to do this is because we learned idolatry. Okay, we learned idolatry with the other nations. All right, such as sprinkling baby's milk on agriculture, on crops, as if that was going to make them more fruitful.
The hell is this?
All right, read that. These are things that we learned with the Egyptians, with all the nations that we read about that he casted out. The Canaanites, the Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites. They all worshipped these deities. Read.
Exodus 23, 19. Thou shalt not see the kid in his mother's milk. It is remarkable that this command, extraordinary as it is repeated. Exodus 34, 26 and Deuteronomy 14, 21.
Right, because remember, Deuteronomy means reiteration of the law. Come on.
And that, as here, in connection with the offering of the first fruits, hence it has been conjectured that it has a reference to the payment of these fruits and to some superstitious practices which the pagans used on these occasions, who were wont, it seems, when they had gathered in all the fruits of the earth, to boil a kid in its mother's milk.
And to do what?
And to sprinkle the trees and fields and gardens with the broth in a magical manner.
Come on.
To make them more fruitful the following year.
There you go. Go to the
hell
next
is
one.
this?
So as you can see, this all goes back to Hamite, pagan, Babylonian tradition. Idolatry. All right? Let me see. Scroll. Start right there. In which a kid. Yeah, in which a kid. Read that.
Okay.
In which
a kid was seethed in its mother's milk to propitiate in some way the deities, and the milk was sprinkled on the fruit trees, fields, and gardens as a charm.
As a what?
As a charm.
As a what?
As a charm.
Don't the Lord tell us not to dabble with charms and charmers and
Yes, sir.
witchcraft and enchanters, and that's what we were doing. And as a charm, read.
To improve the crops of the coming year.
Uh-huh.
Others take it to be a prohibition of a custom of great antiquity among the Arabs.
You see that? Well, here we go. The other nations. This has nothing to do with us. All right? Come on.
Of preparing a gross sort of food by stewing a kid in milk with the addition of certain ingredients of a stimulating nature.
Come on.
And others take it in connection with the prohibitions to slaughter a cow and a calf, or a ewe and her lamb on the same day. Leviticus 22:28. Or to take a bird along with her young in the nest. Deuteronomy 22:6. It is thus understood as a protest against cruelty and outraging the order of nature.
There you go. There you go, which Bishop Kanai did a great classic on Deuteronomy chapter 22. Going into it's not expedient, he gave us the understanding that, it could be considered cruelty to animals as well, because now you're affecting the reproduction rate, So now it's like you can't help your brother out or your family out if you don't have sufficient enough because, as they would say, you're going for the cash cow, So, that's all I want on those commentaries. Just wanted to show y'all the seething a kid in his mother's milk was an idolatry. It was idolatry practice, all right, that we learned from the other nations. It wasn't only Ham. It was also Ishmael, all right. And when we read about Ishtar was the name that the East Indians gave, which is known as Elam in the Bible.
Right.
The East Indians gave Easter. Okay. Also, Esther.
Right.
Right. Our foremother in the Bible. Right. Which her true name was Hadassah. But who changed her name to Esther or Easter? It was the king. Why? Because he was a Persian and Mede. He was like, you're not going to have a Hebrew name around me. We're going to give you a heathen name. Same thing happened with Daniel and the three holy children. Same thing where they were given slave names. Okay? So all this is to take us away from the Most High God and His Son, Jesus Christ.
Hey, officer, this is heavy stuff, man. This is really showing just how low we as a nation of people have fallen because can I get Deuteronomy 28 real quick? This is what all this stuff that you're going over right now is tripping me out because it sounds like something we're doing right now in this day. Get Deuteronomy 28 verse 29 first.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness.
So I'm going to stop right there for a second. This is what the other nations are doing because they don't have our God. God is not dealing with them. So they don't understand how to get their land blessed, to be fruitful or anything like that. So what do? They grope. So they start coming up with all these different deities and gods and traditions and superstitions. That's what they keep doing. And that's what we have adopted. We when we get jacked up by the Most High for breaking these commandments, we start doing the same thing they're doing. And that's so heavy that we've lost this because a lot of our feasts are surrounded about the feasts are around our agriculture. How we give, food when we have the gathering, things like that.
That's right.
Being that we done lost our land, we done lost that connectivity with the Most High. We are just like them, groping at noonday. So now we just lost. We just doing the the Easter thing, the Ishtar, and all that type of stuff. And one more precept in the same chapter, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Same chapter. Jump over to verse 11.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 11. And the Lord shall make thee plenteous.
Stop right there. We understand when we in the spirit, it's God that's doing that for us. That's what we understand. The other nations don't have that. They don't have a God. That's why they trying to create their own gods. But if we get back right with the spirit, we'll know. Go ahead, read it again.
And the Lord shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers to give thee.
So that's what we really lost a disconnect with. And that's why it's so crazy. I don't think there's no limit to this stuff. I'm just tripping out. There's so many levels and devils.
The silly rabbit hole goes deep. The silly rabbit hole is very deep.
Crazy.
All right, so we're gonna cut the commercial, y'all. We will return after these messages. Please make sure y'all stay tuned. We got more to come. More information about Asherah, Ishtar, whatever you want to call her. All right, we got a lot more where that came from. So this has been the Power Hour.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe while you're at it. All right, we got a lot more, so stay tuned. Shalom.
Shalom.
Tune in, it's the Power Hour. I said learn your family history, don't be a coward.
Yeah, history to learn. It's the Power Hour. The 11th hour. Tune in to your history. You know it ain't no mystery. Power Hour. The 11th hour. You gon' learn your history. 11th hour. Power Hour.
Tune in, it's the Power Hour. I said learn your family history, don't be a coward.
Yeah, history to learn. It's the Power Hour. The 11th hour. Tune in to your history.
Where'd all these different faiths come from? Well, there are a lot of man-made religions out there. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit after the tradition of man. What man? The white man.
In Europe, in the time of the Renaissance, they start whitewashing all the dark images in Spain, in Portugal, in Russia, and all these places. And archaeology could show today, we got the records showing that there were black images all over Spain, all over Europe. Okay, why? Because the Christians over there at that time, they were all black.
Being a Christian, you are the following of Christ. You keeping the Passover, New Moon, Sabbath, all that make a big difference. In Christianity, they keep none of what the Bible says.
The Jews have always been black.
So the true early Christians maintained faith in Christ along with Jewish law.
It is very important for us to come out of what we don't belong in and come back to what God actually made.
Brothers, sisters, let's all of us come out of the Christian church now.
It looks more like a military group than anything else, but I'll read what they have.
You said something about it looked like something.
An army.
What make you say that?
Because look, it's like military style.
Why do you support Kyrie?
I'm pretty impressed. I heard it from about a mile away, so I had to come over. Okay. How many men?
Uncle was there where you left. Your auntie was there where you left. Cousin was there where you left. Brother was there where you left. Sister was there where you left. Father, your mother, your uncle, your auntie, your cousin, your brother, your sister was there where you left. 12 tribes! 12 tribes! 12 tribes!
There's something that was said that has never been done or seen before. Unity of our people. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Is that right, brothers? We are the Israelites the Bible speaks of, and we will not apologize. We're going to teach this truth come hell or high water. Christ said the gates of hell shall not prevail against us. I want everybody to understand that. In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 3, the Lord said, endeavor to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Let's hear it. Unity! 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 And we will not ever bow the knee or apologize. So at that, brothers, who's the king? Who's the king? Who's the king? Will tribes! Will tribes! Will tribes! Will tribes! Unity! 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 Who's the king? Who's the king? Who's the king?
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word, his word, his word.
Joshua Israel of Israel United in Christ here in Phoenix, Arizona. We are a nonviolent, Bible-based organization that is committed to the healing and reconnecting of the Black, Hispanic, and Native American communities. Here at Israel United in Christ, you will discover with proof and historical facts that we are indeed the chosen people of the Bible. You will discover the prophecies that foretell that the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were given holy names by God, but have been taken and replaced names like Rodriguez, Gonzalez, Smith, and Brown. You are not Negroes, wetbacks, or savages. Instead of hating one another and continuing the division amongst us, we must work together against the forces of oppression that have put us in prison houses, placed drugs in our communities, and left us with single-parent homes and hopelessness. We are now forced to depend on a nation to save us when they were the ones that enslaved us. It's time for us to join together under God's laws and get back to our original state, royalty. We are more than just leaders of our community. We are fathers, uncles, brothers, mothers, aunts, and sisters. We believe in the family unit that God established. We promote order. We promote unity of our people, which has been lacking amongst us. Our mission is to remind the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans their true identity according to God, and to offer biblical solutions to the perpetual oppression that we face every day. We must rise up together as one community and come back to God's laws. That is where our salvation lies. The writings on the wall. We are a people not desired. They hunt our steps. They shoot us down in the streets and while we sleep in our beds, holding themselves not guilty. On behalf of IUIC Phoenix, I'm inviting you to our school so that you can learn and remember who you are. So join us today. You can call or email us with the information at the bottom of the screen. We are happy to answer any questions you may have. And welcome home.
Hey, shalom, 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 family. Most High Christ bless. Welcome back to the Power Hour Plus.
I see yes.
That's right, dollar loose. All praises, man. So, real quick, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, IUIC Phoenix.
That's right.
Subscribe to the channel. All right, I'm Officer Halez. To my right,
Officer Gadaliah.
Officer Asahel.
Officer Zakor.
all praise. We're here with the Power Hour Plus, filling in for IUIC Phoenix. That's all praise. All right, so we're going to continue where we left off at. All right, what book is this one? Oh, this is going into the grove, right? So we looked up Asherah, and as you can see, what we got out of that was that it was synonymous with the grove. Now let's look up grove. Read what you got.
Grove. See, also Asherah.
There you go, right? Come on.
Asherah, or her cult object, tamarisk tree. Grove is an incorrect
Translation is what they're trying to say.
KJV, of both Hebrew words above. This mistranslation is based on LXX rendering groves. Asherah was a Canaanite fertility or mother goddess and consort of El.
El is another, that's a male deity, right? And consort means the wife of. The wife of the pagan god El. Read.
And also the wooden cult object or sacred pole by which she was represented.
Hey, can we look that up real quick? Can you look up Asherah wooden pole or Groves wooden pole?
Let's go. I tell you, man, all they do is sex. That's it. It's just sex and fertility. That's
there you
what
go.
everything.
Pole. Asherah pole. Yeah. Hit images. Say that again, officer.
I was just saying, everything is always centered around sex and fertility with these things, man. That's just like
it.
It's nothing new under the sun with this stuff.
Right. All right. So let's go through some of these pictures. Hey, look what's coming up. All right. Go ahead and click on one. That one up there. That looks familiar, doesn't it, y'all?
Yes, bring it out.
That looks very familiar. Even wood and stone. Hold on, go up to the one where he's chopping it. Yup, that one. That's a very, very accurate one right there.
Bring it out.
That is an Asherah pole. Asherah pole. Okay. No.
That first one, it was the first image. I don't think they showed it.
You said the first one?
The first image up there.
Go back up. Yeah, that one. Yup. That's right. That is an Asherah pole.
That's pretty sick.
Mm-hmm. Can we zoom in on that?
That's how the nations get down. And we follow right along with them.
That's
Some
right.
kind of X-rated operation version right there. Hey, look, the bones in there.
I mean, even though
There
you
you
know
go.
how wicked it is, you still.
Look. Yep. It gets pretty vulgar, y'all.
That's what you said.
Asherah pole.
Come on now, dog.
All right, close. All right, you ain't got to zoom in, man. Yeah,
He needs
that's
some
enough.
milk.
Back there.
That was enough there. All right, go back to the grove definition.
Hey, every picture we be getting be pixelated, but that one was crispy.
Right. It wasn't no blur or anything.
They found a good
Straight
high-res one on there.
high resolution.
The hell is this?
Damn.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I hope they ain't doing nothing for y'all.
He needs some milk.
Hey, y'all said it. We got single brothers back there. All right. I don't know what that meant.
The hell is this?
All right. Where we at?
Delete that image.
The
man.
plurals. Go ahead, read
Yes,
that.
sir. Apparently.
No, I'm sorry. And also the wooden colt.
Yes, sir. And also the wooden cult object or sacred pole by which she was represented.
All right. Hey, not for nothing, but like, and we just gonna keep it real. But I remember Bishop Nathaniel said it. That dildo stuff, that's idolatry. That's your God. That's your Asherah pole. That's your Asherah pole, sisters. I'm telling you. Right. All right, let's read.
Apparently, the plurals Asherim and Asheroth refer only to her images or cult objects.
Damn. Mind you, we're still talking about Easter. Because I know a lot of y'all didn't think we done went off the deep end. Nope. Asherah is Easter. Let's not forget the point. A lot of times we bring out information and people forget about the main topic at hand.
We just digging up the roots, officer.
That's it.
It's the
We're
roots.
just bringing out what Easter truly represents. Let's not forget that. All right, go ahead, read.
The context show that Asherah was a goddess or an object representing her who was worshipped along with Baal. Judges 3:7, 2 Kings 23:6. In the time of Elijah, 400 prophets of Asherah ate at Jezebel's table.
Damn, who do you think Jezebel was worshiping? Who do y'all think she was worshiping? She was worshiping the Queen of Heaven, feminism, Ashtoreth, Asherah, Ishtar. It's the same dynamic. Come on.
Naturally, Jezebel, a Phoenician Tyrian, would have promoted the worship of Asherah and Baal. Such worship was denounced by the spiritual leaders of Israel. The Amorite name, Abdi Ashurta, a servant of Asherah, appears in the Armana letters.
All right, that's enough on. Give me the next one. Give me the next one. We haven't. All right, this is the who's who in the Bible and the Apocrypha. That's the original book. It has the Ark of the Covenant on it. All right, by Joanne Colmay, I believe. All right, let's go to the page. Let's read that.
Asherah, this is the Hebrew rendering of Asherat.
Now, you could find her in the Bible known as groves, the groves. Come on.
The leading goddess of the Phoenician Canaanites and consort of the head of their pantheon. It represented the female principle in the fertility cult.
This is going into what do they call it? Mother Nature, the goddess,
Mother Earth.
Mother Earth. All of that is the same garbage. It all goes back to feminism. This is why the Bible is hated. And they hate the Israelite man because it teaches us to be men and to make sure that we don't become weak to the woman. How do our men become weak to the woman? When we start
checking them.
Yeah, when we start going away from the God of Israel and allowing women to dabble with Asherah and Easter. And why do you think the Christian church produces so many weak men and headstrong black and Hispanic women? You know, why do you think that is? Because that's who is really in their mind.
They be tapping into their female energy, stuff like that. That's what that is.
You know what's crazy is masculinity ain't toxic when they acting like a man.
Right.
How does that make sense?
Right.
They say somebody got to do it.
At least when we acting like men, we can back it up and protect the house.
Right,
we can try to provide for the family and take care of the family and do what we're supposed to do and defend our homes.
That's right.
Like that one video you had that day with that lady was by the bar.
Oh man, she got slapped back into effeminism. She got slapped back into that was the can y'all find that? No, we're not gonna play that. We're not gonna play that. Then they're gonna say, "Ooh, y'all condoning." Like, no. Once again, we don't condone violence against nobody.
Right.
But sometimes sisters, these sisters, what be happening? Brothers they put brothers in a position where they have to defend themselves.
We just gotta look at the
because you got sisters out here killing men.
Oh yeah.
Because men are, but then you got some brothers who are like, no, if you touch me, understand, I'm going to defend myself.
Right.
Do not initiate contact.
Right. Just do it spiritually, y'all.
And that's what sisters do. Sisters, you know what I mean? Not all sisters, but obviously these sisters from Brooklyn, son.
Right.
Snap.
That's
in other countries, they don't get away with that stuff. They don't put their hands on men because they understand if they touch a man, the man is gonna touch them back, and they understand their role.
Correct. All right, let's finish reading that.
Let's see where we at.
It is represented the female principle of in the fertility cult.
In the fertility cult. During the reign of King Ahab, his queen, Jezebel of Tyre, who had brought her worship of the Tyrian gods to her adopted land, secured official status for the 450 prophets of Baal and the 400 prophets of Asherah. 1 Kings 18:19. This led to the dramatic.
What we got?
The dramatic confrontation with Elijah on Mount Carmel. King Josiah destroyed the Asherah idol in Jerusalem.
Right.
It is occasionally mentioned in the Bible to denote a wooden cult object.
That's what we saw. Remember where the guy was chopping away at it, right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
It also appears in the plural form in both genders as Asherim and Asheroth.
Okay. Scroll up real quick. What's that right there?
Ashtaroth. This is the plural Hebrew form for the Canaanite goddess Astarte, one of the dominant female deities of fertility.
Dominant female deity of fertility. Dominant female deities of fertility.
It's an independent woman right there.
Now, I understand when they say dominant, they mean one of the, what do you call it? One of the main. Prominent, right. But at the same time, this all goes back to enable feminism.
That's right.
Meaning to usurp the woman over the man. That's what it's meant. That's what it's meant for. That's the reason why you have so many weak men in the Christian church.
Right.
You have so many weak men. You know what I'm saying? Where they are willing to fight tooth and nail to defend their white Jesus and their Easter and their goddesses and all that.
Like Officer Asael was bringing out earlier, some brothers will miss their rent just to pay for these suits and all of this food on Easter. And just in all of it, it goes into pleasing a woman.
Yep. Read that.
From the numerous Astarte plaques discovered in archaeological excavations, this goddess was usually represented as naked.
Remember we read who did that earlier? Who was naked?
Asherah.
It was Ishtar or it's the same. That's why as you can see, this is the same. It's just a different name. Okay. Once again, right here it calls her the Canaanite goddess, Astarte. Okay, but it's the same deity. It's the same grove. It's the same Asherah. Finish that.
The name is often used as a general term for female deities of Canaan.
There you go. It's a general term going into all those female goddesses. Right. All right. What's the next one? Read that. Oh, that was a good one. Go to the next one. I don't want that one yet. Do we have another one? Okay, can we go back to the articles then? Let's get an article real quick. But I want to show y'all some. You got something?
I was gonna pull up scripture real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go. Just these women worshiping in Jeremiah 44. We started off with the abuela, starting these feasts, burning these guys and customs in a village. It's 2023, man. I'm gonna just keep saying that. We keep still doing this stuff. Start at verse 15.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 44, and verse 15. Then all the men which knew their wives had burned incense unto other gods.
And this is what I was just bringing out earlier. These are that weak men that knew their wives were not doing what they were supposed to be doing. It is the man's job to show a masculine energy, to show the charge of the Lord, be a man, and not allow their wives to be in the midst of all this idolatry. But
that's right.
They saw it. They watched it in. Go ahead.
And all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt in Packros, answered Jeremiah, saying,
What did they say to Jeremiah?
As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee.
That's crazy. That's how you know they lacked understanding. Wow. They told everybody, we're not going to listen to your God. We're not listening to God. We're not listening to that. Because they don't understand how God works in this situation, right? They was going through famines and things like that, and they was thinking all these, Ashtoreth, Astarte, Asherah, all these guys were supposed to bless them, but that wasn't the case.
The hell is this?
Read on.
Verse 17. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth.
Damn.
To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven.
Unto who?
Unto the Queen of Heaven.
And that's what we're going to dive into more as we go on. I ain't going to read the rest of it, officer. We keep going.
That goes right back to burning that Molech idol that they had in their grandma founded.
Yeah.
Give me First Maccabees 1 and 40. I'm sorry. Give me First Maccabees 1 and 41 real quick.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people,
That all should be one people. Come on.
and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Damn, you hear that? Just like our people today who consent to Christianity, who consent to Easter and hate God by not keeping the Passover. They consent to a bunny rabbit. They consent to coloring eggs.
The hell is this?
They consent to America. Go ahead, Austin.
What you're saying right now is
Pissing you off?
No. That should make a brother mad. No, but think about it. That your level of consent has you defying the laws of bunnies don't lay eggs, but you are willing to accept that level of madness to agree to something that you know is not right.
Come on now.
I mean, how heavy is that?
You got to force yourself, officer. You have to force yourself to say, no, Astarte's just a little bit different than Easter. So, I mean, although they got the same representations and all, this isn't the same thing. You got to force yourself to not believe it.
Right.
You got to believe a lie. You have to stand on a lie.
Hey, do bunnies lay eggs?
No, sir.
Do bunnies lay eggs?
No, sir.
You must consent. You know, like what took place for you to consent to do bunnies? You know, like
you gotta
no.
put, look, do bunnies lay eggs? You got to do something. You got to be some level of something. Some kind of threatening is going on here.
Right.
Go ahead, keep reading that.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messenger unto Jerusalem.
Come on.
And the cities of Judah.
Now, what empire is this?
Greek.
Right, the Greek captivity, right? You read about Alexander the Macedonian, Antiochus Epiphanes,
right?
All the Antiochs, all the Antiochs. So this is during the Greek Empire now. So now Ham has already fallen, the Persian and Mede, the Babylonians, all right? So now this is after all that, after all those captivities and wars. We're now talking about the Greek Empire. Read.
For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Meaning, stop celebrating what the Bible say and follow the laws of the land.
The hell is this?
You see what I'm saying? So they wanted whatever laws, whatever holidays they came up with, leave your God-given customs,
right,
and take on the traditions of men. That's what they wanted us to do, to forsake our God, to forsake our heritage, our culture, the laws of the Bible, the ceremonies and the high holy days and the feast days of the Bibles, to go away from that. Come on.
And forbid burnt offerings.
Come on.
And sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple.
Come on.
And that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days.
You see that? Meaning forget about the Sabbath. Go to church on Sunday.
Right.
Forget about the new moon. No. Look at what they gave them instead. Read.
And pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
By doing what?
Set up altars and groves.
Hey. So now we know what's going on here in the Greek Empire now. These groves is who? Ishtar, Asherah. You see that? Another nation comes into power, they do the same thing. Keep reading.
Set up altars and groves. And chapels of idols.
Somewhere where to worship them. Come on.
And sacrifice swine's flesh.
Oh wow! It's no. What's the number one? What's the number one thing on the menu on the meal for Easter?
Ham.
The Easter ham. This is all making sense now.
The hell is this?
This is all making sense. It ain't the Passover lamb. It's the Easter ham. Swine's flesh.
Powerful niggardry at work.
Okay, read.
An unclean beast.
Go to 2 Maccabees 7 and 1. 2 Maccabees 7 and 1.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken
Uh-huh.
and compelled by the king against the law.
Against what?
Against the law.
Against the laws of God, the creator of all things, the universe. Against the God of Israel. To do what?
To taste swine's flesh.
To eat the Easter ham. Come on.
And were tormented with scourges and whips.
Now our people do it willingly. They'll even pay the pastor money and the religion's money to celebrate it.
Right.
The hell is this?
That's crazy. That's some form of witchcraft. Can you imagine that?
No.
Exactly. It's like, can you imagine what it takes, the level of witchcraft, to try to convince somebody to pay you to do something that's unethical, that's morally wrong, that it's against the laws of your God, your creator. And you're going to pay.
Come on now, dog.
That's like paying somebody to shoot you up with COVID-19.
What the hell is this?
That's like paying somebody you're literally paying somebody so that you self-destruct. Teach me bunnies and eggs. Teach me Easter ham. Don't teach me about the Passover. Right. Hey, that thing crazy, man. It's like what Officer Sayel say? They spent that rent money
right
and got that Easter suit.
Right.
Priorities are not in the right place.
Exactly.
Our people really have to believe that the white man is God.
Dang.
As sad as what you just brought out, officer, you really have to believe that. So this Bible is none and void. Whatever he says, that's what God says.
That's what goes. Dang, man. It's unfortunate. Y'all got something? Let's get into that. Let's get into this article real quick. Let me see. Let me go to it. Let me see.
We get Isaiah 29.
Oh yeah, get You said you wanted what?
Isaiah 29.
Yeah,
sir?
go ahead, read that.
Isaiah 29 verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Just to go back into what we was talking about.
Right.
Because our people, they claim to be Christian, they claim to believe in God, they claim until they blue in the face.
Right.
But this is the reality.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth.
Because they say they Christian, they say they of the anointed one, they say they believe in Jesus Christ, they say they believe in the Bible. I grew up, they said the Bible's right, somebody's wrong. The whole time you bring these scriptures to the pastor, guess what they say? Oh, no, that part don't matter.
The hell is this?
Keep reading.
And with their lips do honor me.
Read on.
But have removed their heart far from me.
Their mind is bugged out. They're completely gone. Read on.
And their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
It's taught by the white man.
Dang. Officer Get a Lot pulled that scripture earlier. Why do you transgress the laws of God to follow after your own tradition?
Right.
Why do you do that? All right. Get that Jerusalem. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to get, while you was talking about eating his ham real quick, I just want to get one quick precept. 1 Corinthians 10:21. Because a lot of our people, especially in Christianity, believe that they're doing this for, God and whatever like that. But no, you're not. You're actually serving the devil, as we've been bringing out. A lot of deities that don't have anything to do with God. 1 Corinthians 10:21.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 21. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of the devil. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table.
You can't be partakers of what is the righteous table, which is what we know this season is what? Passover.
Right.
You can't be a part of that and what?
And of the table of the devils.
The table of the devil. Everything else that we done listed. Asherah, Astarte, Easter. What are the other names? There's so many names.
Diana,
Isis, Queen of Heaven, Isis, Semiramis. All these different names, man. You cannot partake in the Lord's table. You're not. I don't know what God y'all think y'all are serving when y'all go out there with your bunny wrappings and stuff. We was talking to a sister at this past Sabbath. Remember, I don't know if you were you out there? No,
I wasn't out there.
Man, we was out there talking to the sister, and she was talking about getting married. She'd been engaged for a long time, and I'm just thinking, she's waiting on to have this really good wedding, right? She's gonna have the pastor with the Bible and everything like that. I'm like, but y'all in the midst of fornication, like what? Why would you have the Bible there? Exactly.
The hell is this?
You're not gonna be blessed in that situation. Just like you're not gonna be blessed or blessed by your Lord or God or whatever. Why you keep these ungodly customs? That's what these are, man. These are ungodly customs that have grown strong.
Dang. Hey, get that article just posted. Because this stuff is all around us. Idolatry is all over. We're wearing it. We buy it.
2023.
I'm telling you, it is all over. All right, let's read that.
The origins of the Starbucks goddess logo.
You see that? The origin of the Starbucks goddess logo. Now, mind you, Starbucks, wouldn't we say that's the #1 probably coffee brand
Definitely
in
the
the
most
world,
commercial.
right?
Yeah,
the most
definitely
popular.
commercial, yeah.
How much money do you think it's generated since?
Billions.
Huh?
Hundreds of billions.
Yeah, I'm
I'd
going
say
into
trillions, right? I'm probably.
I'm gonna go billions. I won't say
Starbucks?
Yeah, billions.
Make $1 billion like in one day.
It's Esau's fuel. He wake up to this.
If it's trillions, man, I'm not buying another cup.
No, but you know what's crazy about that though? The majority of their coffee is made in Peru, Mexico, Colombia, Cuba. So all this money, all this billions and trillions.
They don't see
Who are they? Like, I go to Starbucks and that crosses my mind. I be like, they've been making a killing, robbing my forefathers.
Not even 1 red cent.
Robbing our ancestors. But I'm enjoy this coffee because I know I know Christ coming. I know the Lord gonna come and avenge me of all my enemies. All right, Reed, what you got?
The history of Starbucks goddess logo. How much do you pay attention to the logos that represent your favorite brands?
Y'all zoom in a little bit.
I see y'all all right?
There we go.
All right. Come on. Scroll up. Scroll up. There you go.
Have you ever stopped to think of their origin and meaning? The logo of one of the most popular brands of coffee known all over the world is a crowned goddess-like figure who resembles a mermaid. Starbucks strangely calls her a siren. Sirens often appeared in Greek mythology as a beautiful yet dangerous creatures who lured unsuspecting sailors to danger with her lovely music and voices. Portrayed as femme fatales, following the siren's call often ended in shipwrecks when vessels hit the rocky coast of their island.
Read that. Look who came up. Hey!
The hell is this?
Look who came up.
Come on.
Oh, y'all thought she a transformer now. She goes from being on a pole to being in the water.
The hell is this?
A swimsuit.
To a swimsuit. Go ahead, read that real quick.
Astarte was a goddess. To the average coffee drinker and person on the street, the relationship between sirens and the Starbucks logo is relatively unknown.
No, it's not. We not regular people up in here. Read.
Bring it out.
The logo also resembles a goddess from history named Astarte.
Come on.
From the Bronze Age through the classical times, Astarte was a goddess worshipped throughout the Eastern Mediterranean. She was a deity linked to fertility,
Easter,
sexuality, and war.
And war. Come on. So even like the military, right? The Medal of Honor has the goddess Minerva, who is the goddess of war, which all goes back to the same thing. They just paint a different name to the same deity.
The devil.
Yup. Finish that. Astarte is also known for being a snake goddess and having her own cult worship. All right, come on out of that. All right, so let's give the brothers and sisters what we're supposed to be worshiping, right? Let's focus on the solution real quick. Get that? The Encyclopedia of Jewish Religion. Let's read that.
The Encyclopedia of Jewish Religion.
All right. Passover. Isn't that what Christ kept? Remember we read that in Luke 22?
I believe so.
Well, he said, hey, go prepare the Passover. And he never, not once mentioned any eggs or bunny rabbits. Nope. All right, let's read that.
Passover, first of the 3 pilgrim festivals, observed for 8 days in the diaspora. See, second day of festivals, and 7 days in Israel, and by Reformed Jews. Passover is the universally accepted, if inexact name for this festival, which commemorates.
Here we go. Which commemorates
the exodus of the children of Israel from Egypt.
Also known as what?
The Festival of Freedom.
Ooh, that sound good, y'all. That sound good, don't it? That sound good. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all go ahead and keep y'all Easter.
Right.
You still slaves right after that.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? You're still in captivity and you have no hope. You've only dug yourself in a deeper hole by celebrating the traditions of men. But as we keep the feast of unleavened bread and the Passover, we inch closer and closer and closer to rulership, to that next kingdom that's going to come.
True freedom.
You know what I'm saying? True freedom. Not now, not this so-called freedom. No, you still paying a lot of taxes.
Right.
Some of y'all found out y'all ain't getting no tax return back. Y'all owe money to the IRS. That's called captivity.
That right.
That's called slavery.
Right. That's right.
A lot of us. I mean, we going through captivity here, man. We going through hell.
Right.
But the Passover is a representation of the freedom of the children of Israel.
That's
The true freedom of the children of Israel, who are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's what I love about this truth, officers.
That's right.
Like,
Bring it out.
everything we do, we can explain it in the Bible. It makes sense. It's about our deliverance.
There you go.
Things like that. You ask, why do you put up a Christmas tree?
Right.
Why do you do this with the bunny rabbit? Why do you do this with the eggs? There's no answer.
There's no answer.
Right. There's no answer. That
You
thing
gotta
is
believe.
This is why we keep the Passover. Get that Luke 1 and 68. Get that Luke 1 and 68. This is why we keep the Passover.
Let's go.
The book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 68.
Come on.
Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and have raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
You see that? For his people, his people. Keep reading.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets.
Come on.
Which have been since the world began.
Read.
That we.
That what?
That we should be saved from our enemies.
You see that? We are going to have freedom from our enemies. We are going to be saved from the hand of our enemies.
That's right.
Because right now, Easter is a stronghold. Christianity is a stronghold. Catholicism, religion, politics, college educations, all this so-called knowledge here in America, all of it is a stronghold. It's witchcraft. But if we convert and come back to the laws of God, we will be freed from the lies that we have been taught.
That's right.
And we will be saved from our enemies. Read that again at verse 71.
The book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 71. That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us.
Because to teach a child Easter, that's hatred.
That's right.
Yes, it is.
That is right.
Yes, it is.
A lie goes into hatred. I don't care how small or how petty you think it is. A lie is a lie in the eyes of God. You see what I'm saying?
It's huge, sir.
Exactly.
It's huge.
We think it's a petty lie, but it's not. It's a big lie in the eyes of God. Okay? So that's the reason why we're supposed to utter nothing but the truth according to the scriptures. So we can't just go with the flow and just be like, okay, yeah, he was born December 25th. Oh, it's for the kids. Oh, we're getting gifts too? Okay. We're not supposed to do that.
Ain't no such thing as a white lie, a little white lie.
You see what and notice what they call it, a little white lie. You see what I'm saying? What they're saying is don't make a big deal about it.
Right.
They trying to desensitize you so that you don't magnify any lie. So when the big lie comes, you'll accept it. Like the lie that you're African American. Now you'll accept it. The lie that Jesus is a white man. Now you'll accept it because you were okay with accepting the little white lies. Esau, I'm telling you, Esau got the psyche, the mind, mental. He's got that art of war.
Right.
I'm telling you, this is a spiritual warfare. All right. You got something?
No, I was just thinking all lies are white. That's what I was thinking.
What?
Let's go.
All lies. Con are all white. All praises, man. Get that Deuteronomy 33 since we talking about lies.
Let's go.
Deuteronomy 33 and 29.
Yes, sir. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 29.
Come on.
Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord.
Come on. Nobody's like unto us. Come on.
The shield of thy help. And who is the sword of thine excellency?
Uh-huh.
And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee.
And you know how they're going to be found liars?
Bring it out.
Because this word is like a two-edged sword. It exposes all the lies that these other nations have taught us.
Right.
It comes back and corrects us. And it's okay to say, I was wrong.
That's right.
It's okay to say, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. You got a point. Let me swallow my pride.
That's right.
Let me swallow my pride. Let me take a step back. Since they're proving everything, let me take a step back and really consider what they're saying. Consider what the Bible is saying. Don't even consider what we're saying. Consider what the Bible is saying. Consider what the Lord is saying.
That's right.
The Lord is saying it's wrong.
That's right.
The Lord is saying, make sure you keep the feast of Passover, the feast of unleavened bread. You know what I mean? Finish that off?
Yes, sir. And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places.
We're going to tread on their high places.
That's right.
Meaning we're going to take the kingdom. We're going to take the kingdom, man. But we got to, in order to be freed, we got to keep that. We got to keep we got to come back to, first of all, we got to bethink ourselves.
That's right.
And then we got to keep the commandments of God and faith in Jesus Christ. It's a package deal. You can't do one without the other.
Right.
Okay? You can't do one without the other. No longer embracing your nigga coon name. No longer embracing your Spanish Jose Hector, John Smith, all these names, slave names. We got to come back and embrace our God-given nationality. God calls us Israel. All right? Our Messiah is a black man.
Right.
That's right.
All right? And the salvation is only for the Jews, the real Jews, who are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
What you got also?
Right.
No, I put a little video in the channel.
Let's get it.
Real quick. Hey, you got that video?
Yes, sir.
All praises.
Bring it out.
Hey, bring that out real quick. Just to go back with what you were saying about lies and the author of lies, who they come from.
Bring it out.
Let me see.
The one with
So while we're waiting on that to come up.
Yeah, IT.
Yeah, give me Romans 1 and 16 real quick.
Let's go.
While we're waiting on that to come up.
Yes, sir. The book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 16.
Read.
For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first and also to the Greek.
Right. So the true power is the gospel of Christ. That's our true power. Right? So now I'm going to show you where.
Yeah, why don't you cut it off so I can talk?
Why y'all got the camera on me? It was like that for like 5 minutes. I was like, surely.
Hey, I'll praise
He was
him.
looking at the
Hey,
arm.
officer is a ventriloquist.
All praises. So now we're going to show you what the lies where they would have you think power comes from in this Easter farce. All right. Hey, play that.
In order for you to become empowered by the eagle, you must climb that cliff. Find the egg, crack open one of them, and then swallow the yolk.
So what you're saying to me is if I can eat this yolk, my moves will become the best in the whole world.
Definitely.
See, there he is, lying. Wearing that cross.
Dang.
And this is us believing the lie. This is the extent of what we'll go through, you know, in believing the lie. Eggs come from bunnies. Hey, there's the superpower right there.
They're eagle eggs.
The eagle eggs, exactly.
Let him answer.
That's it. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
It don't even taste good. It don't even taste good.
That's it. That's us diving off a cliff. That's us diving off a cliff.
What the hell is this?
We appreciate that breakdown also.
The build up.
We appreciate it.
Hold on. Okay, so we got cut short, but if you go like 2 more minutes into the movie.
Oh, wow.
If you
Wow, we had 2 more minutes on that?
Well, maybe not 2 minutes, but you notice that they cut to a wrestling match. So Nacho, if you have never seen Nacho Libre, Nacho is this priest who wants to become a luchador so he can become famous, right? And there he is listening to Satan. All you got to do is climb this cliff and get some eagle eggs, you know, and then you're going to become powerful.
The hell is this?
But, hey.
Hey, Horace, that was heavy.
Yeah.
That was heavy.
As you see.
Hey,
the
post
eagle
that
eggs
picture
were
up for
alive.
everybody to see.
There you go.
All right. There we go.
There we go.
So, yeah. Tricks are for kids, man. Don't be a silly rabbit this year.
2023.
It's 2023.
y'all.
Easter is of Satan.
Right.
Easter is of the devil. You know, learn more about the Feast of Unleavened Bread, also known as the Feast of Sweet Bread, which is called the Passover.
That's right.
All right? Passover. So tomorrow is the new moon.
That's right.
Meaning that it's what?
That's right.
New Year.
New Year.
It's the new year.
That's right.
Hey, happy New Year tomorrow morning. Tomorrow evening.
That's right.
Happy New Year. All praises. If you already celebrated the New Year back in January 1st, silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. You was bamboozled and hoodwinked. All right? That was not the New Year. So all praise to the Most High for the show. Lord's will, y'all was edified. If anybody has any other questions, all right, I noticed some comments. Brothers and sisters was asking, where do we go for questions? Go to www.israelunite.org.
That's right.
www.israelunite.org. All right. You can search the drop-down boxes. We have schools in many different states. You can contact the leadership in your local area.
Yep. Countries too.
All right. Yep. Right. Also, donate to Matthew213.com. Matthew213.com. The Booster Club. Make sure you send alms. All right. Download IUIC TV if you haven't. We have an app. All right. You can look it up. It's IUIC TV. Download and subscribe. Yep. All right. What am I forgetting, y'all? I feel like I'm
follow the Power Hour. You know,
there you go.
They got a lot of links. They got Instagram. We got all our social media right there on the bottom right of the screen. Y'all go to the pages, like, subscribe, share, comment. That helps get the numbers up, especially as we try to reach out to more of our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters. I know we got don't we have some Northern Kingdom channels as well, officer? Like IUIC.
Yeah,
Mexico.
Israel, Unido, and Cristo. So yeah, we got
that up.
Huh?
I said I would have tore that up. Try to say that.
Yeah. So yeah, please subscribe to those channels that are listed below right there.
Hey.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh man, check it out.
All right. I don't think we got any phone calls today because we don't have access to that. Anyway, so yeah, donate to the Booster Club, IUIC.fundraising at IsraelUnite.org. All right. So Israel, with that, comment, subscribe, share, and Lord's will, we'll see you on the next one. All right. With that, I've been Officer Halez.
Officer Get Alive.
Officer Asahel.
Officer Zakor.
And we're with IUIC Austin. Subscribe to our channel as well, IUIC Austin on YouTube. All right, with that, family, we say shalom. Most High Christ bless you all.
Ahora es tiempo para bailar este nuevo. Este pa' que tú, pa' que goces, pa' que